After 65, do this in the morning. You could live 40 more years. Long life is not won in a single heroic moment, but in a quiet routine repeated at dawn. If you are over 65, chances are you've heard every lecture about cholesterol, joints, and memory slips. Yet what if the secret to a longer, sharper, and more dignified life is not in the medicine cabinet, but in the first half hour after you open your eyes each morning? Modern medicine does many miracles, but it is the humble morning ritual that holds the power to stitch extra years to your lifespan, and extra vitality to those years. Let us step away from prescriptions and listen instead to what centenarians, researchers, and ancient cultures have quietly known for centuries. The way you wake up sets the tone for every cell in your body. To many, the words old age sound like decline, grayness, and frailty. But look closer, and you will find an orchestra of habits that whisper, you can live on and on, provided you treat your mornings as sacred ground. From Sardinia's sun-washed hills to Okinawa's garden paths, elders have risen at dawn to greet the day in gentle, deliberate ways that feed their bodies and soothe their minds. Their longevity isn't a fluke, it is a practice. And that practice begins before breakfast. So what can you, reading this now, do when the sun peeks through the blinds? It is not about grand gestures or punishing routines. It is about tiny, consistent choices that cradle your heart, your bones, and your spirit. It is about greeting the day in such a way that your body feels heard and cared for, not just dragged along for the ride. Begin with light. It sounds too simple, but sunlight is medicine for an aging body. As the eyes age, they admit less light to the brain's master clock, which is tucked deep behind the eyes in a patch of tissue called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. This tiny brain clock tells every organ when to rest, when to digest, when to repair, and when to stay alert. When you wake up in dimness or artificial light alone, your master clock loses its sense of time, and your hormones drift into confusion. This confusion over months and years shows up as poor sleep, depression, weak immunity, and weight gain. But step outside into the gentle dawn light, even for a few moments, and you recalibrate every cell's sense of time. Imagine it. You rise, draw your curtains, step onto your porch or by your window, and let the light flood your retinas. You don't have to stare at the sun, just exist in its presence while your brain adjusts. It can feel so trivial, yet it trains your body to sleep deeper at night, wake more refreshed tomorrow, and regulate appetite hormones that control your weight, all crucial for an older body. Those who live longest tend to rise with the sun, rather than hiding from it behind drapes and ceiling bulbs. Then there is the gentle waking of the muscles. Here lies one of the most ignored pillars of graceful aging, preserving muscle tissue. After 65, the body naturally loses muscle at a rate that surprises most people. By 80, many have lost a third or more of what once gave them strength and balance. Without this muscle, stairs become enemies, slippery tiles become traps, and the fear of falling can shrink an entire life down to one room. But a few calm minutes each morning can fight this silent thief. Forget exhausting calisthenics. Instead, stand up and stretch. Reach slowly for the ceiling. Roll your shoulders until the tightness sighs away. Tilt side to side to wake the trunk muscles that keep you upright. Perhaps you bend your knees slowly, pretending to sit back on an invisible chair and rise again. You do not have to do sets and reps like a soldier. You only have to show your muscles you still need them. They listen. They respond. While your muscles wake, remember this: an older body is always thirstier than it feels. With age, the sensation of thirst dulls, even as the body's need for fluid grows. Dehydration is a quiet saboteur behind countless senior hospitalizations for confusion, fainting, constipation, or urinary tract infections. The answer is not complicated. Keep a glass of fresh water by your bedside or in the kitchen. As your first act of the day, drink deeply before your coffee. Let the water rinse the night from your kidneys, hydrate your brain, and jumpstart your digestion. Yes, enjoy your coffee afterward. Moderate coffee intake is linked to better memory and a lower risk of Parkinson's and dementia. But water first, coffee second, is a small ritual that can save you many miseries down the road. Next comes the nourishment of the brain. Skipping breakfast is fashionable among the young and reckless, but a body that has seen decades needs stable fuel. A breakfast that balances healthy fats, protein and fiber acts as insurance against blood sugar swings that can cloud your mind and drain your energy by mid-morning. Think less of pastries and more of slow, sustaining foods. A bowl of oats scattered with nuts, a boiled egg beside whole grain toast, or creamy yogurt crowned with berries. Eat slowly. Taste each bite. Mindful eating not only aids digestion, but reinforces your bond with the present moment, a practice that elders across the world treasure more than any multivitamin. While your body receives this food, remember the mind is an organ too. It grows weary of chaos and noise and ages faster under stress. A mind left to race through worries, each dawn turns each sunrise into a battlefield. To counter this, borrow a secret from monks, centenarians, and the quietly content. Take a few minutes for stillness. Sit by the window, close your eyes, and inhale until your ribs expand like a balloon. Hold this breath a heartbeat longer than you wish. Let it go as if you are releasing a secret. Repeat this until the rustling thoughts settle like leaves on a pond. You do not need incense or gurus. Just 5 minutes of intentional calm sends a message through your vagus nerve, lowering inflammation and smoothing your heartbeat into a steady, youthful rhythm. When your mind is calm, your spirit readies itself for company. This may surprise some, but research is unambiguous. Loneliness kills. Its effect on lifespan rivals that of smoking or obesity. Humans, even the shyest, are pack creatures. One reason some people live past 100 is not just clean eating or fresh air, but regular contact with other humans. Not long, heavy conversations, but simple daily exchanges. A wave to a neighbor, a quick check-in call to a friend, sharing breakfast at a cafe or swapping a joke with the mail carrier. These small stitches of connection keep your social mind alive, your heart cheerful, and your immune system stronger than any pill can promise. And finally, the crown jewel of morning longevity rituals, a walk. The oldest people in the healthiest villages do not run marathons or punish themselves in gyms. They walk. They walk uphill to fetch bread. They walk across gardens to chat with a cousin. They walk to the store, the post office, the friend's kitchen. Walking after 65 is not merely exercise, it is an insurance policy against immobility, dementia, and cardiovascular disease. Each step pumps fresh blood to the brain, feeds the cartilage in the knees, and reassures the bones that they still have work to do. For you, this might mean a short stroll around your block, or even pacing gently up and down a hallway if the weather frowns. Consistency trumps distance. A short daily walk is better than a heroic trek once a month. If you have a dog, thank them for being the perfect walking coach. If you do not, consider becoming the neighborhood's honorary morning greeter. The important thing is to move, to greet the morning air with your feet as much as your lungs. One might ask, is this really enough? Could these gentle acts, opening blinds, stretching limbs, sipping water, feeding the mind, calming the heart, greeting a friend, and strolling down the road, truly carve 4 extra decades from death's grip? Science cannot guarantee immortality, but it tells a clear story. Those who practice these morning rituals stack the odds in their favor. Aging is not a single monster to defeat, but an orchestra to conduct. When your mornings honor light, movement, hydration, nourishment, stillness, connection, and motion, you send your genes signals of life. You quiet the chaos inside cells that would otherwise slip toward disease. You balance the delicate teeter-totter of hormones that decide how quickly your skin wrinkles or how soon your heart tires. And you gift yourself a sense of mastery over time. There is deep dignity in shaping your day before the world demands things of you. In those first 30 minutes, you are not an aging body. You are a living spirit commanding a loyal vessel. Stories of the long-lived whisper the same lesson. In a village in Costa Rica, an old man named Luis rises before dawn to feed his chickens and walks slowly to the edge of his orchard. He stands still, breathes the misty air, and watches the sun paint the sky pink. He says these moments remind him that he is part of something larger, and so he has a duty to stay well. He is 93, still farming, still laughing. In rural Japan, a grandmother named Yumi tends her bonsai at sunrise. She talks to the tiny tree as she waters it, believing that gratitude keeps her heart young. She is 102 and still telling stories to her great-grandchildren. None of these elders are superhuman. They simply protect their mornings fiercely, knowing that a day that begins in gentle order resists chaos later. So can you. Perhaps tonight you lay out comfortable shoes by the door as a promise to tomorrow's self. Perhaps you place a note on your phone reminding you to drink that glass of water before your coffee. Perhaps you ask a neighbor if they'd like to share a morning stroll once a week. Each small commitment is a seed planted in the garden of your remaining years. If you stumble or forget, be kind to yourself. Long life is not about perfection, but about patience. One missed sunrise ritual will not undo your work, but each new dawn is a chance to begin again, wiser than yesterday. As you shape these rituals into your mornings, watch how your days follow suit. Sleep deepens. Appetite calms. Joints ache less. Aches that seemed inevitable may soften. Spirits lift more easily. The word old begins to feel less like a curse and more like a badge earned by wisdom. One day, decades from now, should someone ask you at your 100th birthday party the secret of your long life, you might smile, sip your tea and say, "I simply treated my mornings as if they mattered." They do, and so do you. Medical disclaimer. This article is provided for informational, educational, and inspirational purposes only, and is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or new health routine. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay seeking it because of something you have read here. Individual results will vary. Health Oasis is not liable for any personal outcomes related to the use of this content. Proceed mindfully and at your own risk.